Bullet Runner is a fast-paced, top-down view twin-stick shooter developed by Kami Games with lots of action, blood, and deep voice acting for that healthy dose of badass. How do I know about this game? Thanks to Bonus Stage, who came to me and gave me a review copy before it was released. Thanks guys! Just a heads up, this video is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid by them, nor they asked me to make this video. I'm just doing it out of passion and enjoyment of the game itself. Without further ado, let's talk about Bullet Runner. As I mentioned before, it's a twin-stick shooter. You can shoot, ops, hit enemies with a pad, dodge, slide, and perform finishers that provide you with ammo refills. The premise of the game is very simple. You go through the stages shooting down guys that are unfortunate enough to get in your way, solve puzzles the protagonists think are silly, grab keys to different areas,
nice,
and shoot more and new enemies that are introduced as you progress. The graphics are alright. You and your enemies are animated sprites, yet the environment is a 3D maze view from a top-down angle. It does the job, however, some of the foreground graphics get in the way, blocking the enemy from view, which can be a bit annoying. There are 4 different difficulties, and while I enjoy a good challenge, starting off on normal mode was the wisest choice. You'll see what I mean. It begins with you controlling this big, muscly guy, beating the crap out of everything it shows up regardless of their purpose in life while being oblivious to any form of damage. While you're at it, you're given instructions on how to play the game, which you will need as there's so many things you need to know. And once you're done covering the top of the building in blood, this ginormous entity shows up and... a few days earlier? Yeah, you're teased with what the final boss is like. You play as Jack, a dude that one day wakes up in a cell wondering what's going on, but then this lovely chap shows up and blows up the bars for you so you can escape. At this point, you're introduced to your first weapon, the pistol. It has unlimited ammo and packs quite the punch, but the fire rate leaves a lot to be desired. Still, it will serve you well. Afterwards, you get a baseball bat.
Okay, time to kick ass.
Used to deliver a very small amount of damage, but also to stun enemies, allowing you to perform finishers. These will refill your arsenal back to full, however, you're not told this until you dispose of your pistol for a shotgun. And this is one of the many mechanics you'll have to get used to. Not only do you get no ammo pickups, but you also run low on ammo constantly, which is why the game encourages you to perform finishers to get ammo. Just like in Doom. However, you can only perform these when your finisher move is charged, which takes 16 seconds per use. A bit annoying at first, but once you gather more weapons, it becomes second nature. Every now and then, when you enter a new area or one that you have to backtrack to after a while, hordes of enemies show up in attempts to take you down. And while selling this like a calm and peaceful civilian sounds great, that is not an option. A little bit of the good old shotgun bam boom action will get you through. At this point, you're given different mechanics and instructions that you better not forget, because most of these are fundamental to get far in the game. I should know, because I haven't. The stages are all linear, and they all have puzzles you have to go through, such as pushing boxes, activating switches with lasers, timing puzzles, getting keys to access different areas to activate something back at the beginning of the stage. You know, the usual video game puzzle trope. And you also get optional missions, such as in this example, dealing damage to slowed enemies. It differs per stage, and every time you succeed, you're granted with a skull token at the end of the stage. These tokens are used for extra missions that will give you access to a new weapon. You also get upgrades, although these are rather optional. You'll still be fine without those. And that's about what the game has to offer in terms of gameplay. Go through stages, gun down enemies, solve puzzles, get a lot of dialogue from the protagonist. Jack, again the protagonist, is written in such way that he tries too hard to sound badass. And the voice acting doesn't make matters that much better. Here, have a listen.
That. Now we're talking. They should definitely fire the guy who's leaving all these weapons around. And what are you supposed to be? Optimus Prime. This is Burger Queen. May I take your order? You're turning into a fanboy now.
Oh, shut up.
I don't blame you, because I am a Amazing.
Now, I'm not trying to be mean to the guy behind the mic. I can't say I can do a better job myself, but man, after a while it becomes really annoying. And Jack won't shut up!
Erased.
They make a lot of references from different pieces of media, such as Terminator, The Matrix, even Link, the Faces of Evil.
Defense, agility, power. You want it? It's yours, my friends. As long as you have enough skill points.
Of course, the game is very self-aware and even makes fun of some of the puzzle elements.
Whoever decided it was a good idea to lock their doors using puzzle mechanics, I will find you and I will kill you.
Clearly, they don't take themselves seriously and they try to have some fun while writing these. As for the story, I can't really tell you what it is. And all I was able to take from this is that big guy shows up, but oh no! Going back in time, better go through with this without asking why. The game doesn't seem to care much about it either, as it often throws lines like this one.
Huh, are you really gonna force me to listen to you talk about how bad and dangerous you are?
Not that I mind, I just shut off my brain and shoot without asking questions, just as the character is portrayed it. Also, on the main menu, why can't I go back by pressing B? Why does it select delete by default when I want to load my game? And why is there no damn map? Why? And now we shall stop this segment to go back to talk about the game in a more praising manner. Thank you so much for your patience. Outside of the protagonist's unstoppable foul mouth and the lack of a solid story, there are instances in when the game gets really intense, even on normal, yet so satisfying and rewarding once you're able to pull through these situations. Dashing around, shooting down enemies, performing finishers to gain back ammo to shoot more enemies down, it's awesome. To add to the intense action, there are also some special enemies that have armor. This armor will protect them from being stunned and killed by finishers. All you gotta do is shoot, shoot, and shoot until they become vulnerable. They do take more abuse than most, but it adds to the challenge, breaking the monotony. On top of all that, these stages aren't exactly short. The earlier stages take about 15 to 20 minutes to clear, and they only get longer further down the line. Sure, the stages are linear and they pull some, get to the end of the stage only to go back to the beginning and have to deal with hordes that weren't initially there moments, but at least gunning down enemies is fun. Remember what I said about the difficulty? The game gets progressively more chaotic with each level, and even though the damage you take isn't huge on normal, there is so much going on at once, it's ridiculous. And I'm all in for that. Overall, quite an enjoyable game. If you like twin stick shooters at a fast pace, this game is just for you. Thank you so much for watching. I know this isn't exactly a tips video, nor the video I was planning to make after the Dead Cells 1, but one thing led to the other and I wanted to make this video before the end of the year. I know my schedule is all messed up, but I appreciate the support regardless. You rock, and never forget that. In any case, I'll see you all in the next one.